Hi, I'm Kathleen Jasper, and today we're talking about the Science of Teaching reading exam, specifically code-based skills, and even more specifically, phonemic awareness and that continuum that you have to understand in order to get these very specific questions correct on the exam. We're going to go through a sample question today, and I'm going to teach you how to understand these and answer them correctly. Let's get started. All right, so when it comes to the Science of Teaching reading, the Foundations of Reading test, or the Praxis Teaching reading, it doesn't matter. Any reading certification exam, you have to understand the systematic way in which we teach students how to read. And the first step, that bottom rung on the ladder, is phonological and phonemic awareness. Sounds only in words, okay? We're not looking at the words. We are not figuring out, this is a silent E, this is a long vowel sound. We're not there yet. We are at the very beginning stages where we are doing exercises orally and through our listening comprehension, okay, auditory. When I was becoming a reading teacher, the reading coach said to us, you can do these exercises in the dark. And that really is the very first skill students learn, sounds and words. And so you might say things like, how many sounds in the word map, 3. You might segment sounds off of words. You might delete sounds. You might take a sound and substitute another sound. All of this is code-based because there are certain codes in words that you are manipulating. We're not concerned about the meaning of the word. We're only thinking about the sounds. Later, when we take these skills and apply them to phonics, we are going to continue with the code base. We're going to look at the word and we're going to see that there's a code going on in the word in order for us to pronounce it properly, right? We don't care what the definition of the particular word is, although you might discuss it, but the focus of the activity is to understand those codes in words, those sounds in words, the letters in words, letter-sound correspondence, all right? And that's why they call them code-based skills. Later, when we get into vocabulary and comprehension, we will be working on meaning-based skills because we're more focused on meaning rather than these basic skills, decoding the word, reading the words together, and all of that. So phonemic and phonological awareness, phonics, and fluency are considered code-based skills. Fluency moves you toward and is the bridge between those foundational skills and more advanced skills, meaning-based skills in vocabulary and comprehension. But today we're focusing on code-based skills. Let's hop over to my presentation so I can demonstrate how to attack these Science of Teaching reading questions. Remember, you have to understand the continuum within those basic skills. So phonemic awareness has its own little mini continuum in it, and they might be testing you on that. Let's have a look. All right, so I always like to work backward. I like to think like a test maker and work backward here. So we have say cat and ask the student to change the middle sound to an ah to make the new word. Okay, so basically say cat and change it to caught, right? All right, that's a medial shift, a medial sound. Show the word cat and ask the student to underline the vowel and read the word aloud. Now this looks like phonics. Notice the difference. We have say the word, listen to the sound and say a new sound. This is phonemic awareness, specifically substitution. And this is phonics where you have to actually see the word. See, display letter cards and ask the students to match each letters to its sound. This is the beginning of phonics because remember, letter sound correspondence, matching the letter. We have to look at the letter. This could also be the alphabetic principle. All right. I'm just sort of discerning the different skills students are working on here. D, provide a list of CVC words and ask the students to read them aloud for accuracy and rate. This sounds like busy work. It doesn't sound like it's effective. So I'm going to take D out. Now, A, I have that beginning skill, phonemic awareness. C is also a beginning skill, that alphabetic principle. And B is a little more advanced in terms of phonics. Let's have a look at the question stem. The teacher wants to target a more advanced phonemic awareness skill during a brief oral routine or a language routine. Which activity? Now notice I worked backwards again because I zeroed in on this phonemic awareness. That takes out B for sure and probably C. In this case, we're looking at letter cards. That's not technically phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness you can do in the dark. You do not have to see the letters. You're just going by sounds. So I would also take out C as well, which leaves me with A. Let's just go up here and read the full thing. A kindergarten teacher is working with a student who can blend and segment 3 phoneme words accurately. M, A, P, and S, for sun. And we want to do a more advanced skill. Well, substituting that sound in cat for an sound making caught is a phonemic awareness activity, and it's more advanced because you have to locate the sound that you're trying to substitute out, which is It's in the middle of the word, which makes it more complex. Beginning and ending sounds are easier to identify. Medial sounds are more difficult, and you're switching it out. So this is at the top of the phonemic awareness continuum. You would know that if you were studying the continuum, and I hope you are. And you can easily figure this out just by working backwards and seeing that A is the only phonemic awareness activity in the 4 answer choices. And then beyond that, A is also an advanced phonemic awareness skill. So there's kind of 2 ways to attack this question, but you still need to understand that explicit and systematic part of the science of teaching reading to know this continuum. All right, so there you have it, a breakdown of these code-based skills, specifically phonemic awareness. We also talked about the continuum and how to identify the correct answer just by knowing the different skills in the answer choices. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Remember, you're trying to become a reading scientist. It's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of study. I'm here for you. Let us know how you're doing, and I hope you have an awesome day.